Maxx Crosby, he's going to come in at the end, punch it out.
Holmes is sacked by Crosby, his second of the game. 19 for the Vikings, pressure coming, and down goes Dobbs. Maxx Crosby, 12 and a half sacks on the year.
Mad Max. All right, boys and girls, welcome back to our huddle. This is The Rush with the one and only Maxx Crosby. I am your co-host, Brogan Roback. We got our dogs in the studio, Creel, Slime, DT. Welcome, boys. We appreciate you coming back. This is episode 11, okay? Great number. Also, December 10th, week 14, Vikings against the Raiders in Allegiant Stadium. It was a barn burner tonight, 3-0. Vikings came out on top here. Max, 10 total tackles tonight, bro. 7 solos, 2 big sacks. Can't wait to talk about those big old sacks. 3 TFLs, 4 QB hits. Man, you were fucking flying all over the place tonight. Not only yourself, but the defense. You guys had a lot of pressures. I think 6 sacks from you guys tonight. So continue to just take off where you guys have left off from the game before. It's been fun to watch. Also, Max, I don't know if you know this, but you have now become the 4th player in NFL history to record 300 tackles plus and 50-plus sacks in his first 5 seasons. So congrats to you, bro. That's big dog shit. Really, it is. I mean,
appreciate y'all.
Always. Hey, cementing that you belong in this league. And not only that, bro, you are fucking taking over. It's beautiful to watch. DPOY in my eyes and all of our eyes. So we can't wait to keep our eyes closely on that for you, because I know you don't give a fuck about all that extra shit. So we'll keep a close eye on it for you, Max. But want to send it to you, man. Crazy game tonight defensively from both teams, but just your thoughts, Max, on the game tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It was just a defensive game. We lost 3-0. But for me, my main focus every single week is on improving, that finding that little 1% we can get better at. And you just seen our defense all season long, pretty much. It's just getting better and better and better. Obviously it sucks. That's why it's bittersweet. We held them to 3 points and still lost. But just seeing the evolution of this defense, led by Pat Graham and all these guys that have come in. We have a lot of new faces in this building. And you see our defense getting better every single week. So it's tough. We took a tough loss. And backs against the wall, to even have a chance, we have to win out, which is unfortunate. But for us, we're blessed with 4 more opportunities. Go out there and go continue to, take this momentum, where we know it can go. And as a defense, that was what made it tough. Everyone was just silent in there, just fucking upset. But we can't get too upset. It's, there's no such thing as 24-hour rule. We're playing on Thursday. We're playing the Chargers. We already know what that, we already know what that is. I don't even have to get into that, but we can't wait. Another opportunity. So we got to take them down. We're back at the crib and we got to get a big win. So we're definitely gonna be fired the fuck up.
Yeah. You talked about the defense, and how could you not? I mean, they were talking about you guys all on TV today, rightfully so. And we've talked about you guys for the last few episodes, Max. So I just want to ask you, bro, what do you feel the defense is doing the second half of the season that's just led to great success for you guys with, that side of the ball and with that unit?
I really think it comes down to not blinking. Like, we've been in a lot of situations where, boom, short field on a turnover and we're at the 20-yard line. And in the past, it's been like, oh, fuck, here we go. But for us, it's like, all right, fuck it. Let's go get another stop. Let's find a way to push them out of field goal range or do whatever. So when you have guys thinking like that, everybody on the same page and everyone communicating at a high level, it's going to lead to success. And you just see this group come together. We have a ton of young guys, ton of new faces, like I already touched on, but you just see everyone playing together and having fun out there. And it's honestly been fucking incredible. Even though we haven't had the, full success that we want, as far as wins and losses, we know we're going in the right direction as a defense. And it's bittersweet in a way, but we believe in our guys on the offense. It was obviously a tough ass night, but the only thing we can do is get better, and that's what we're banking on. I know defensively, this is not going to make us, want to play less hard or not go out there and be our best. It's just going to motivate us more that we have to make more plays and just stay on top and be at our absolute best for the rest of this season.
It's been a long season for sure, and a lot of high moments, also a lot of low moments, right? New coach throughout this year, not an excuse, obviously, but Max, for you as a leader of the team, as a leader throughout the entire NFL, what do you think, just looking throughout this season, what has been something that the team has struggled with, in your opinion? And like, what is the message to finish out the season, right? You said your backs were against the wall already, but what is the message moving forward? But I'm truly curious, what is something that you noticed just as an entire team that you guys might have struggled with, and what needs to change kind of moving forward into the end of the year for momentum and heading into the next season as well?
It really comes down to, it's cliche, but like everybody talks about starting fast. And like for us, that's been our motto, start fast. And for me, every time I write that down, it's like start fast and finish faster. And like that's what it's got to be for the whole team. And that's the whole organization, from players, coaches, everybody. So no matter what's going on in the game, we have to capitalize off of certain opportunities. Like we can't have a bunch of penalties in the red zone. We can't have, turn the ball over when it's a guaranteed. We should have a guaranteed 3. Little things like that are what bite you in the ass at the end of games. And like, today we had multiple opportunities and we didn't capitalize. And so as a defense, we have to keep improving. We have to find ways to, affect the game even more, get more turnovers, get more hands on the ball. But we're getting better. We know that. And just as a team, we just have to continue to stay together, because it's not perfect. Like you said, we have, we lost, our coach, Coach McDaniels, earlier in the season. We have change. We have a lot of new faces. Aiden's the quarterback now. And we're just all trying to make it work on the fly. And, the thing I can honestly say is that nobody's blinked. Even though it hasn't been perfect, we haven't had the results. Everybody's still locked in. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to win for our brothers. Like, we're super tight-knit in that locker room. And that's been something special, this entire year. So all we can do is just continue to, improve and stay together, because if we don't, it could be a waste these last 4 games. And for that, I fucking refuse to let that happen. I know personally, you already know how much I put into it. This is all year round. This is my life. So I'm going to make sure I push that narrative the whole entire, week leading up to, or 4 days leading up to the Chargers game. But yeah, that's all we can do. That's all we can control. Go beat the Chargers, and then get a little bit off our, little bit of time off our feet, and then, go on these final 3 games and go finish with a strong end of the season.
Yo, Max, the main message at halftime, 0-0, was it more so addressing the offense, or more so just keeping the defense hype on what it was already doing? 0-0, you guys at home to 0 points, so more so keep honing in on what you guys are doing, and more so focus up on the offense, trying to get some sort of points, whether it's 3, 6, anything.
Yeah, AP came in at halftime fucking juiced up. Everybody was hyped the fuck up. We knew defensively we were doing a lot of good things. Our main emphasis was, all right, we need to stop the run, because they weren't doing much at all, and the only thing they had were a couple runs that leaked out, and that was our main emphasis going into the second half. So I felt like we definitely did that. We made, I think we had 12 TFLs on the game, 6 sacks, and we stopped the pass game. We were rushing very well. So there was a lot of things that, we did really well. And so at halftime, like, I just know from a defensive side, like, we were just honed in on stopping the run, going into the second half, and don't let them have 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 3s and things like that. Let's back them up, and let's fucking, pin our ears back and get after them. And I feel like we did a pretty damn good job of that. So we just got to tighten up a few things, and that's really all we can control. Just keep moving forward. And I feel like AP was great. AP always has the energy, but he came in at halftime extra juiced up and hype, and we were all hyped up, ready to go the second half.
I even saw him juiced up on the sidelines, and they showed you kind of dapping him up, looking at AP while he was delivering a message to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, you're like, yeah, let's go. You're talking
about
my
the 4th.
language.
Yeah, starting the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was his message to you guys, Max? Because he was obviously speaking your language. You're dapping him up in the middle of it. Like, he just shared with everybody else kind of what he was trying to say to you guys to get you guys going out there.
Yeah, his main message was, do your fucking job. Do your fucking job.
It's simple, right?
It's simple, but hard to do. And
for sure,
we were doing it. Like, defensively, we were doing it. And it's just a few little things, just cleaning up little things on the other side. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's a team game. And that's why football is the greatest sport, because it's the ultimate team game. So AP would just relay that message, do your fucking job, and go out there and finish. And, the guys are fired up. And, like, I feel like we were right there. And that's what just makes it harder, because shit, 3-0. Like, you don't see that. You know
No.
what I mean? You don't see that nowadays.
There has never even been a 0-0 game finish, bro, since 1947 or some shit like that. So just so you know, games in the NFL, especially nowadays, sure as hell do not stay at that little of points. Max, the game has turned into an offensive game. I mean, essentially, right? They're trying to do everything they can to keep the quarterbacks upright. When it comes to receivers fighting for a ball with the DB, it's pretty much going to lean the receiver's way, right? Anything they can do to make your life a lot easier in the NFL, it seems that they're doing.
No, for sure, bro. Like that, honestly, that game, I was like, all right, I don't know if this is going to go to overtime and it's going to be 0-0. Like, honestly, that was where my mind's at. I'm like, they're not fucking scoring. And like, that's, it was just a unique game for sure, but it was a battle. Defensively, we kept going out there. And nobody fucking blinked. And, it's a credit to everybody out there, bro. We were fucking dialed in. We just got to find ways to get a little bit better and finish games better.
I got to ask you, bro, when teams bring in a new QB kind of late in the game, I'm sure you guys prep for both QBs all throughout the week, but also you had to prep for Justin Jefferson finally making his debut back from being banged up. Unfortunately, he went out with a chest injury today. Marcus Epps fucking laid a good one across the middle on him. Yeah, that was a little old school ball for him. But Max, is it hard for you or as a defensive unit to adjust to a new QB coming in the game? And if so, did anything change between Nick Mullen stepping in for Josh Dobbs? And, was there one way to attack the other differently?
It was similar. Dobbs is a more athletic guy for sure. So he's going to hold the ball a little bit more and, try to make some plays on his feet. But, Nick Mullins, he was in camp last year with us with the Raiders. So I know him very well. And he's a good quarterback. Dude's tough. He's actually played a lot more football than people know. And he came in and, it's tough. Like the first pass, like the deep ball he threw to Hawkinson, like that was like a centimeter away from being intercepted. Like he literally got tipped up in the air and they fucking catch the ball. So it's like little unfortunate things like that hurt us. And he made a couple good passes, but like at the end of the day, like we just have to do our jobs. Like I always talk about it. It's all about us. That's what I tell the D-line every single day. Like it's all about us. It doesn't matter who's in front of us, who's the O-line, who's the running back, whatever. Like if we're playing at our best, it doesn't fucking matter. And that's something I got from Marinelli. It's like there are a bunch of gray faces out there. If we do our job, we get off the ball and dominate how we should. It doesn't matter who lines up in front of us. So that was our mentality. Regardless, he came in and it didn't change at all. So for us, it's tough. You got to find ways to keep getting stops because we did it all game. So it was just it wasn't perfect, but we had our opportunities. We just fell a little short.
Yeah. And then before the game, we changed pace a little bit, Max. Before the game, you were not necessarily awarded, but you were, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Nominated. Thank you. Recognized for being nominated for the Walter Payton Award. What was that moment like for you, man? Just because I know it means a lot to you. You have a great heart. We talk about it all the time. I think that's what I've known that since college. We've known that. It's just been something that we've always been attached to you with, but now the world is getting to see you have who you are without your helmet, right? So what was it like for you to be recognized and for being nominated for the Walter Payton Award?
It was dope. It's a special moment. I've seen, on the Jumbotron a ton, the Walter Payton thing and, they had it in the end zones and everything like that. So for me, like being one of the 32 guys in the NFL being, recognized for it is honestly incredible. I don't do things with, intentions to get recognized for it. For me, y'all know this, like I love giving back. I love doing things for other people, especially people in need. And even, animals as well, like pit bulls are like, I have 3 of them. They're like my fucking children. So for me, every single time I get to go out there and do something special for people in the community, not just Las Vegas, but Michigan and Texas as well. Like, it's a big honor. So it was dope. I was going to the tunnel and then Sandra, AP, Champ were all standing there and they're like, all right, you got to get a picture, blah, blah, blah. So she got to, present me the award and everything like that. So it was super dope. And, it's just a complete honor. It's really dope.
Yeah, it's a super dope moment for you, man. And it's super awesome just to see it. You already know where our votes lie. We're tapping and submitting our vote for. But nonetheless, Max, you just hit on it. Your cause, your cleat today. It had something to, clause, I know. Santa Claus is on my mind here with December. But with you, Max, That's right.
Yeah.
I'll dress up D if you want me to. Max is actually Max. You're dressing up as Santa, are you not? Let's tell the people.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but yeah, continue.
For your cause, your cleat, Max. It obviously has to deal with the pit bulls. You own 3 of them yourself. They're your babies, your daughter, your sons. Speak on your cause, your cleats, if you don't mind, Max, and what it stands for.
Yeah, so I've been doing Stand Up for Pits Foundation since I believe my rookie year, and it's something an organization I've been working with closely for years now, and just about getting, pit bulls all around the U.S., getting them, fosters and getting them adopted. So it's something I'm passionate about. 2 of my pits are adopted, so it's something that's I love, and it's something that I'm involved with. So I feel like I can get more and more recognition towards them and get more pits, houses. It's honestly incredible. And so that was something with the Pro Bowl too. Like when I got the Pro Bowl MVP, they had me pick an organization that I can donate $20,000 to, and the NFL, gave $20,000 to Stand Up for Pits, and just got to save a ton more pit bulls. So for me, it's something I hold close to my heart, obviously. So yeah, it's one of those foundations that I work with super closely, and I got a ton of love for those people over there.
I love it. You're a dog man at heart. We're all dog fathers as well in here too, which is kind of dope. But
Yeah.
since we're talking about all these fucking dogs, D, I think we got to get to that dog of the day. Show them fucking teeth, baby. Come on.
Talk to him.
Talk to them. All right, y'all. So for this week's dog of the day, we already know there's a lot of candidates. A lot of people showed out. We got to give a couple honorable mentions. Tyree Wilson had a big game. J-Rob, my boy, number 97, getting to play like real minutes for the first time. He went out there and got a sack.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people. Spillane again, 10 tackles, a sack, 2 TFLs.
Got saucy.
A lot of candidates. But for the dog of the day this week, we're going a little different route. We're going down a different street. We're going with our coach, our leader, DC, Patrick Graham, dog of the day. Pat. Big shout out to Pat. Me and Pat have a special relationship. I got to meet him in Miami on my top 30 visit before I got drafted. And that was the first time I ever met him. And we sat in the room in Miami, and he was like, I've talked publicly about my trip to Miami. It was a tough day. They were hard as fuck on me, and it was tough overall. But I respect it to a certain degree for sure. But Pat Graham was, I think, one of my last meetings, and he sat with me and was so like overly positive and like had so many good things to say to me. And during that whole draft process, I hadn't had that at all. I took heat the whole time, and Pat was like so cool to me. And I almost thought he was being sarcastic. So when that happened, I was a little thrown off. Talked to my agent. I'm like, I don't know if he's like being serious or not. And CJ is like, yo, Pat loves you. And so, fast forward last year, Pat ends up being my DC. He gets the job. I find out. CJ immediately calls me on the phone. He goes, they just hired Pat. He goes, expect a call or a text, ASAP. Yeah. And legitimately, while I was on the phone with CJ, Pat calls me. And so I get on the phone with Pat. We chop it up. He's like, remember I told you, you're my favorite player in the draft, and blah, blah, blah. And we're sitting there laughing. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But he's like, man, I've always wanted to coach you. And our relationship's been dope ever since he's gotten here. So with all that said, our dog of the day is Pat. You look at our defense today, we allowed 3 points, 3.3 yards per play, 231 yards total. They only had 99 total passing yards, which is crazy. 8 of 20 on third down, 6 sacks, 9 TFLs, 3 PBUs, 12 quarterback hits. We had a great day overall. Obviously, like I said, it sucks not getting the win, but defensively, I got to give a big shout out to Pat because he's the one orchestrating everything going on in the field, and he's another guy that we have a special relationship. Like, it's not like a normal coach to player relationship. We talk all the time, and it's very real. And this offseason, we talked about it a lot, but just he asked me a lot of questions, and he's talking about confidence and things like that. And I always y'all know me. Like I speak things into existence. I manifest things, and I put the work behind it. And the number one thing that I feel like has allowed me to evolve every single year is just like building that mental side of it and my mental confidence, not only physically. And that's something I really preached to Pat this offseason. I'm like, Pat, you went to Yale. You're a Yale graduate. You're brilliant. You know what to do. You know what to call. I'm like, just be you. And I always tell him that. I'm like, Pat, what's up? I said, where's your energy at today? We'll walk into meetings, and Pat's like, all right, you might have me today. And like, we fuck around like that, but we got a special relationship. So I got to give a big shout out to Pat, dog of the day. There's without a doubt holding him to 3 points. Big shout out to Pat. You're our dog of the day.
Good shit, Pat. I think Pat might be the first coach that's gotten the dog of the day, so big kudos to him. The Rush thinks very highly of you, so that's awesome. And Max, I do want to ask you, because there could have been a point, obviously, when Josh McDaniels got let go. People might have thought that Pat Graham, and he probably thought himself that he could possibly be leading this team, right? The team decides to go with AP, which we love AP. We love the decision as well, too. But have you seen anything switch in the mindset with Pat Graham since that moment? Because it just seems like the defense has elevated ever since then. Do you feel like, not that he's necessarily proven himself, but to you, has he upped his play, so to speak, along with the defensive players as well? Just your thoughts with that whole thing.
I feel like Pat's been big on, obviously ever since the change, it's just, and this has honestly been all season. Like we had a switch in preseason where, Pat was on the sideline last year, and this year he's been up in the booth the whole time. So Pat's looking from a bird's eye view, and he's relaying things down to our coaches. But the number one thing I've noticed, like the biggest change in him is just like his demeanor. Like he stays even keeled. He's calm. He's not, getting overworked up over, a missed tackle or, something going wrong. He doesn't blink. And that's like reflected through our whole defense. And so I got to give him a ton of credit on that because he's really taken a step to reflect this whole offseason, and he's putting that on display. And you see what we're doing as a defense, and we're just getting better and better. So, Pat's been incredible all year. He hasn't blinked. He hasn't panicked. There hasn't been any type of that, activity going on. He just purely been himself. And, Pat's a different dude. He's funny as hell. We always fuck with him because he used to try to claim he was like from New York or East Coast, and he's listening.
He's an Ivy League guy. Come on now.
Yeah, and we're like, Pat, where are you really from, Pat? He's like, all right, I'm from Connecticut, but he carries himself like a New York dude. But I totally get it, respect it, and Pat's just been 100% himself. We're like, Pat, just be you, baby, and he's definitely been himself, and we love him for it. So yeah, big shout out to Pat.
That's huge. Shout out to you, Pat. Max kind of hit on it, but you guys are currently a top 12 defense. Yeah, probably even better than 12, just so you guys know that. But they held the Vikings to 3 points, 3.3 yards per play, 231 total yards. And they also turned in 6 sacks, 9 TFLs, 3 pass breakups, and 12 QB hits. So big night for the boys there on the defensive side of the ball. And also that's a big testament to you, Pat. So dog of the day, congratulate you once again. Huge moment.
Real quick, shout out to Zen Water.
Shout out to Zen Water.
Does anybody have their Zen Waters?
Yes. Pound them out. That's how Max continues to play. I love that.
Shout out to JC. Shout out to the whole crew. Also, shout out to Slate Milk. My Slate Milk's over here. I don't want to, break my headset, but big shout out to Slate Milk as well. Manny, Josh, the whole crew. Big shout out.
I love that. That's great. Thanks for jumping in there.
Great product. Hold up. I got it. I low-key do have it on me.
High key.
Hey, Max.
Hey, you see it. Slate Milk. Double-hatted. Stop playing. That's my dog.
Let's go, baby. We're out here. No, so that's huge. And also, guys, really quick, if you haven't, continue to like, subscribe, comment down below. We're gradually getting up there in subscribers, but we need to get to that 50K, right? We got a lot of huge things for you guys to offer. Obviously, out of season, we're going to have a lot of cool shit as well. But this is very important right now for in season with time dwindling down. So continue to hit that big subscribe button, tell a friend, and then have them subscribe as well, right? Go download it on their iPad. Go take their phone for the day. Watch them tweak out that they don't have their phone in their pocket, but run to that YouTube and hit subscribe to The Rush, all right? We appreciate you guys doing so. Indeed, we get over to that big old fucking sack, the one that I love?
Yeah, give me that big sack.
Yeah.
Big sack.
Show us that big old sack, baby.
What a fucking day
Big
by the
sack.
kid, huh? We got two big old sacks to talk about. Brogan's fucking dream come true. All right, we're gonna start it off with sack number 1. We're 3rd and 19, start of the second quarter. All right, from the looks of it, right, I'm gonna walk through my perspective of the play. Well, you're gonna have to talk to me. See if we were right about this. All right, you had speed off the ball, right? You saw the back coming, so you went speed to bull. You went speed to bull, got right into that tackle's chest, and I mean the rest is history. It was an impressive fucking sack. Now, did you see that chip coming? And is that what made you kind of put your foot in the ground and then go straight into the tackle's chest, or did you kind of try and set him up and get his hips open and then try and go speed to bull?
Yeah. Anytime you see the back anytime I see a back towards me or a tight end, I know there's going to be a chip. So yeah, I seen the back and he's usually chowed out. Like if it's a normal, if it's a screen or something, or, the back's a little bit tighter, it could be a draw, especially in a 3rd and 19 situation, but the back is almost stacked over the tackle. So I was assuming, the chip was coming. And so for me, the get off, everything starts with the get off. And that was something I really, dialed in these last 2 weeks is like, how can I improve and how can I finish this season stronger than I started it? And, that was something I feel like I do at a very high level, but it's got to be more consistent. And so my get off today, I feel like it was low key my best get offs I had all season. And I was really honed in on that. So yeah, it's, when you have outside help, the tackle is like, okay, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to sit and I know the power's coming. But he's not able to do that if I get off the ball and beat him off the snap. So that's exactly what happened. I got off the fucking rock and he opened up and I turned to power before he could sink his hips. And I just literally went right through him. And, I got the sack and I seen the flag on the ground and I didn't know what happened exactly until I seen the replay up there. And he was like legitimately trying to rear naked choke me as I was, finishing the play. So, we got a hold and a sack on the same play. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, you didn't leave him much option on that. But that kind of leads us into the second one, right? You just talked about the full line slide. All right, so this scenario, we're 3rd and 3. You got a minute left to go. Still in the second quarter. Got 2 sacks in 1 quarter. The ball is on your guys' 45. All right, looked like it was a full line slide. You take outside with the tackle. Dobbs kind of gets a little flush. He tries to escape the pocket. Go up into the middle, bounces back out. You're able to bend the edge, and you're able to make the play. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, so this is this is the beauty of pass rushing. At the end of the day, it's like a battle of opposites. Like you want him guessing at all times, and so for me, I knew I already won with the power and got home. So for this, this rush, I get off the ball again fast, and I sell right out the gate like I'm about to just power rush the fuck out of him, and I powered him, and I knew he was gonna lean and try to especially after the last one. He's going to really fucking sink down and try to, what is the word I'm looking for? Absorb the bull rush. And I felt his weight convert. He was leaning forward and I hit him with like a quick over the top little swim move and he went fucking flying. So I just ripped through and I finished the play. I seen Dobbs kind of bail out. Shout out to Malcolm Kuntz on the other side. He had a nice level rush, came underneath. Dobbs wasn't able to step up through the B gap, and he tried to go out the back door, and I just had to hunt his ass down, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ball off him, which I was trying to, but we got another sack, and that was the rest is history. So it was another big rush for me.
Literally, and Max.
Yeah,
so
literally,
DT hit on both those sacks, Max, and for both of those, you recorded your 50th. And your 51st career sack in the silver and black. Your top 5 of all time in Raiders history, bro. Congratulations. It is fucking unbelievable. What does that mean to you? I know. Yeah,
mean, are you fucking kidding me? Top five. Come on.
Top five. Max, what does that mean to you, bro? We got to know. You're cracking into some rare fucking territory with some legends that normally grace the sidelines. So, what is your thoughts on that? And just congratulations, man. That's the biggest thing.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Honestly, I talk about it all the time. My legacy is my most, the number one thing I'm focused on. I want to leave a legacy that, not only is, undisputed, but at the same time, off the field, viewed in the same way, and that undisputed, okay, this guy, not only was a great player, but also a fucking role model and somebody that, was in a dark place and changed his whole, trajectory of his life. And for me, that's super important to me. So yeah, getting the 50th and the 51st, like those are on my mind for sure. Of course. And I definitely wanted to, get there because I've seen the graphic pop up and, being the first Raider to have 50 sacks in his first 5 seasons, like that shit is crazy. And like, that's something I dreamed about ever since I got in the silver and black and being one of those guys that, you can't erase history. And for me, it was a big deal, bro. So getting over 50, now at 51, it's honestly incredible. It's something before the season, I knew if I got 12, last year I had 12 and a half sacks. I knew I had to get at least 12 and a half sacks this year to crack the 50 club. And now we're at 13 and a half. So like I said, we have 4 more left and, I got a lot more work to do. The job is not finished and I plan on, further making myself undisputed. For me, I want to be the best. I continuously say this, but I don't take it lightly. And whatever I got to do to, put myself in that conversation for the best best in the business, regardless of position, that's what I'm gonna do. So I have a ton of work left to do and it starts again on Thursday. So yeah, bro, it was a fucking special moment for sure.
I'll say this, Max. I know you got these goals in place, but 57 and a half sacks is the number 3 on the list right now. You got, that's something you're able to touch.
Are you going for a prediction hour?
57 and a half. I mean, we can touch that this season. We can be going into next year third on the Raiders top of the list. So
what do we talk about, Max, all the time? They come in bunches, man. They come in bunches.
They come in bunches. You play the game the right way. You treat the game the right way. Sometimes they just fall to you. Sometimes it just happens the way it's supposed to happen. So for me, yeah, bro, I want to continue, taking those next leaps and bounds to going where I plan on going. So yeah, bro, 4 games is a lot of football. So I'm definitely looking forward to the finish of this year.
Oh, yeah. Thursday night. Hey, Chargers split up 6 sacks today.
Yep. Chargers, I know they lost too. They're the same record as us.
Backup QB.
Herbert.
Thursday
I heard.
Night?
Yeah, so
Easton
prayers
Stick.
out to Herbert. I got respect for my guy Herbert, even though I'm hunting his ass all the time and he knows it. Got a ton of respect for him. Hopefully he heals up and gets better. But yeah, bro, it's another opportunity, division game. Shit, doesn't get better than that. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Herbie might be. Yeah, no kidding, right, D? Are we ever going to see the triangle face mask come back, Max? Have we been able to discuss that any further? Is that going to be making an appearance?
I mean, the last game of the year, I might just say fuck it and take the fine. Sorry, Roger. Sorry. We're playing Denver at home. It might just have to happen.
Yeah. And then a long off season of negotiation. We'll figure it out.
We'll fight it a little bit. We'll figure it out. See if we can make some tweaks to the face mask. But yeah, I might have to bring it back.
Throw the visor on there.
Yes. One last thing I want to touch on for you, Max. Just because your play is at an all-time high, obviously a new career season high too with the sacks, which is what people obviously love. But you've been tapping the hundreds with the pressures last year, which is a sane number. But for you, Max, for kids coming up trying to play your position, because you don't look like a normal DN, right? You don't look like a Khalil Mack. You don't look like a Daniel Hunter. You're tall, you're lengthy, you're slippery. What is something that you would tell a younger guy who looks up to you that wants to play your position and take over the game? What would you tell them to work on? What is something they should always carry with them? Just a little message from you to somebody that wants to be like you.
Yeah, my number one message is, and somebody told me this early on and it helped me a ton, but rushers come in all different shapes and sizes. And that's the beautiful thing about, D linemen in general. You see a guy like Aaron Donald who's maybe 6'1". They probably get mad at me. I think they might list him as 6'2" or something, but he might be 6 foot, 6'1", and he's the most dominant 3-tech to ever play damn near. You got guys on the edge. Some of them are, Greg Rose, who's 6'7", 260. Then you got Von Miller, who's 6'2", 250. So it's like they all, they come in all shapes and sizes. And, the beautiful thing about it is that no matter what, if you can get to the quarterback, you're going to have a great career and you're going to be able to make a lot of money and change your life and create a great legacy. So for me, I'm 6'5", 250, right now, 258, 260, around that range. And, I don't look like the Hulk. There's some guy like Khalil Mack looks like a fucking looks like the Hulk. Yeah, an action figure. And Daniil Hunter too. Like that dude, I've seen him on the field today. Dude looks like a monster.
Even Nick Bosa in his skims,
yeah.
Kim K line.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's true. Like Nick Bosa looks like I don't even know what he looks like. He looks like a Komodo dragon, just straight, just
Godzilla, baby.
Yeah, like Godzilla. So yeah, he just they come in all shapes and sizes, and no matter what, if you can rush and if you put everything you have into improving your play on a daily basis, bro, you can do anything you want. So that's my message to everybody. I wasn't a first round pick. I wasn't a second or third round pick. I was a fourth round guy, come from Eastern Michigan, had one offer out of high school. Like, it doesn't matter if you continuously chase greatness every single day and truly do the work when nobody's looking, you can accomplish anything in life. So that's my message to all the kids out there.
No, and that's big. I think that's we talked about this a little bit before we got on air, but that experience, man, just go where you can play, right? A big thing with the transfer portal going on. Obviously, I've been vocal as hell about it, but with the transfer portal, people want to leave and they want to go to these other schools, these bigger schools. But if you're good enough, they're going to find you, right? And the biggest thing that we talked about off air was that experience in playing. If you have 40 career games under your belt, that means a hell of a lot more than you playing 10, 15 games, transferring, and now you're second string at Alabama, right, so to speak. Yeah. But you get 40 games in, you're ahead of that curve more so than a lot of other people in Division I football. And that experience can take you a lot. Even in the NFL, the game's faster. It's played a lot differently. There's a lot of things that you can hone out your hat on and things that you can kind of revert back to when you play. So I think it's a great message, Max, and it's huge. So speaking of getting to the league, all of you guys that are trying to, we got some news around the league. So, Krill, I'm going to kick this over to you for a little news around the league, baby.
Yeah, so Max, while you were playing Chiefs, Bills, obviously that's a shootout always, no matter where it's at. Buffalo, KC. There was more or less the last drive of the game. KC was good driving down. Kadarius Toney was offensively offsides, and they threw the flag late. More or less didn't give him the warning. Threw it to Kelsey. Kelsey had a dope ass play. Threw it back to Kadarius Toney. He ended up scoring, and they called it all the way back on offensive offsides.
Yeah.
So with that being said, should there have been a warning 19 back up with the ref, or is that you're also a grown ass man at a pro level, knowing that receiver, your first job's to either be on or off the ball, and to be aware that the ref is aware of that.
More importantly, to wipe that crazy ass playoff for Kelsey. That's a historic play.
That was so dope.
Literally, and I was so confused.
He starts pump faking. I'm like, who's he throwing to?
No, that shit was wild, bro. Honestly, after our game, I had no words. I was just had to get in my cave and reflect a little bit, but start scrolling a little bit, and I see Mahomes is being held back like Isaiah Stewart going after LeBron, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, I see Tony's trending on Twitter and what's going on and blah blah blah, and then I'm like, okay. How the fuck is the receiver lined up offsides? It's you could either be on the ball or off the ball as a receiver, obviously, eligible guys, stuff like that. But it wasn't even that. He was lined up offsides. And I looked at the freeze frame, and Rachel showed me. And honestly, some Raider fans might get mad at me for this, but I thought it was, I can't say this about the NFL. Roger's going to find me. But the call was crazy. Honestly, in my opinion,
That's safe.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
like that.
it's crazy. Yeah, you can say it for me, Darian.
Hey, that shit was fucked up. They choked.
Yeah, that shit is wild. I mean, unless he's egregiously lined up offsides, then you call it. But a play like that in that moment, a minute left in the game,
and late in the season,
and the ref, and like I heard that there was even tweets out that they said Kadarius Toney checked with the sideline with the ref, and he gave him the green light. And then they supposedly and this was like by like the CBS reporters and shit, and then miraculously all those tweets got deleted, which is even weirder. But
now we're getting into that
anyways, now we're getting into this shit. I went straight in the rabbit hole, and I was fucking looking. I'm like, I looked at the freeze frame. I'm like, okay, he's like on the ball, but it's not like he's a full head over anything. Like it was really close, and so for them to call that back, especially after Travis makes that insane throw. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like the only team that does that is the fucking Chiefs with Kelsey, and they do these crazy ass throwbacks and shit like that. But that's a credit to Andy Reid and them. But honestly, I mean, unless it's egregious, that's the only way you call that. But to take away that moment and dictate the game, the outcome of the game by that is honestly crazy to me.
I'll say it because you can't, but it feels like the referees have been stepping in a lot this year, dictating a lot of end games, which kind of sucks, right? There's a lot of great players, and we talked about they want people to score nowadays in the NFL, and then they're taking some of that away. And you can argue the week before the referees didn't step in at the end of the game for the Green Bay Packers in the Chiefs game with Marcus Valdez-Scantling, holy cow, and then also with Travis Kelce jumping up for that Hail Mary was kind of tough as well too. But dude, I always see Travis, he's constantly throwing the ball back like he's on the defensive side of the ball, lateraling it. They're legit backyard football. When you think of backyard football, we've talked about this. They don't really run routes. They get to open spots. He's lateraling it. They're like the modern day what are they, the Globetrotters or whatever? Yes, they are. And Max,
that's crazy.
I'm glad you said that about Isaiah Stewart attacking LeBron. LeBron going and winning the first in-season tournament.
Here we go. This is not a segment. This isn't a segment.
It is because I want to ask you something, because other than LeBron being legitimately goated in solidifying it, Max, do you think the NFL should adopt something along the lines of like an in-season type game or tournament or anything to spice up? It is a long season, 17 weeks. Or do you think the momentum's already ultimately high week in, week out?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. NBA, like, you can hoop all year round. Like, it's different. There's 82 games. I get what they're doing. Obviously, the viewership, I know in the NBA has been down a little bit during the regular season the last couple of years. So
and the courts
I think it was honestly, the courts are crazy. Some of them are a little ugly. Some are solid. But, like, I think it's honestly smart as shit. Like, 20 games into the season, it's the regular season. It kind of, especially for players, too, like, as hoopers, like, they can get by on skill so much. So, like, having them play for something and have them motivated, at this point in the season, I think is a great idea. And you've seen that. Like, dudes were going hard. Like, even the Pacers, like, watching a couple of the Pacers games leading up to that was, like, playoff atmosphere in Indiana. So, and it's just given more guys and more teams more spotlight. Like, you've seen Tyrese Halliburton's gone from, like, a up-and-coming guy to, like, now he's solidifying himself as a superstar and being at that level of viewership just by being, playing against LeBron and playing against the Celtics in meaningful games. So, honestly, I think it's dope for the NBA. But, yeah, in the NFL, there's no way. Like, we already play 17 games, and the NFL is a whole different world. Like, you go week to week, you're preparing your body just to get to Sunday, and that's hard enough. You know what I mean? Just the physical standpoint of it. So, I don't know what the hell the NFL could do, but nothing like that. It would be damn near impossible.
Halliburton snapping, even though he shoots like he plays in the WNBA, he is fucking nice.
No, he has a different shot. It's definitely unique, but he's nice as fuck. Tyrese Halliburton, it's nice, and it's random as fuck too. This is random, but this week, I think it was Thursday, the Pacers got into town. It might have been Wednesday or Thursday, but it was Wednesday.
Did you guys jersey swap, you and Halliburton?
No, we definitely didn't. But their coaches came, Rick Carlisle and the whole Pacers coaching staff were at the facility. And I'm in there getting work on the bike, doing my ropes, boxing, all my shit. And fucking Rick Carlisle and the boys walk in. And I got to chop it up with their whole coaching staff. It was super random, but I know Rob Ryan is good friends with some of those guys. And, Rick Carlisle, I've been watching him. He was a Pistons coach. He was a Mavs coach. He was the Pacers now, so he's a legend. And I got to chop it up with him, and one of his assistants is like a diehard Raider fan, so they had a connection there, and I got to chop it up with those guys. So it was dope.
I love that. That's sick. Krill, we got anything else buzzing around the league?
Old man JoeFlaco came off the couch, threw for 300, took down the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. Zach Wilson showed up today, big time.
After being reluctant to start, that's kudos to him, bro. That's huge.
Yeah, that boy said that shit smooth off the shoulder.
Yep.
No, facts. Honestly, the craziest shit is seeing Joe Flacco playing for the Browns. Like he was on the Ravens forever. He built his legacy with the Ravens, won a Super Bowl, and now he's playing for the Browns and like legitimately pushing them to a playoff.
They're choosing to stick with him for the rest of the season. Max, do you think they can do it? Can they do something special? D, you might be able to.
I believe in Flacco. Like, honestly, I watched the first game. Like, we had the bye week last week, so I'm like, let me check. Like, obviously, I'm on Red Zone. I got fucking all the TVs and everything jimmied up so I can see every game at the same time.
Yep.
And I'm watching the Browns. I'm like, how the fuck is Joe Flacco going to look like today? Dude hasn't played all year, didn't do a training camp, nothing. He was slinging the rock, like, making plays versus the Rams. And obviously they lost. I think he threw a bad pick at the end, but like majority of the game he was playing really well. So seeing him another week under his belt, goes out there and then throws for 300 and gets a win versus Jacksonville, who's a legit contender. Honestly crazy, bro. Like you gotta show your respect for Joe Flacco because that's honestly insane. Like it's unheard of. Quarterback's already hard enough to play. The fact that he's coming in at this point in the season and going out there and helping them get wins is it's unreal.
The last time, he had won the Super Bowl, D, when we were in the dorms at Eastern Michigan.
Yes.
That's how long ago it was.
And then
freshman year.
I'll never forget that shit when he launched that deep ball, bro. That deep ball in the AFC Championship. Jacoby Jones. That, like, with the safeties falling back, I'll never forget that play, bro. Like, I remember that so vividly from my childhood.
He does
the
have
fact
a dope
that he's
deep ball.
still playing. Yeah, he can launch it still, bro. And he does no looks. Like, even now, he's doing no look passes.
It's like riding a bike, bro. Muscle memory.
No, it's muscle memory, bro, because he's talented.
D, that gets
you
two
fired
backup
up, right?
tackles. Fuck yeah, it does. He had two backup tackles. Still came out, threw for 311 and 3 touchdowns and beat the Jaguars at home.
That's
come
insane.
on.
That's insane, bro.
That's all Cleveland needed was a little bit of a game manager.
Yep. Not to mention the defense bowling out again. Emery
4
with
turnovers.
not only two picks, maybe maybe
picks.
3, but 2.
Yeah,
okay,
2 picks.
They're balling. And Joe Flacco even made a comment on air afterwards that he was talking about the identity of them. And it was funny because, Max, you talk about quarterback being in the hardest position and then stepping in midseason. He said, I think their identity is this team likes to make it a little like, shitty kind of, so to speak. They like to get in these like muddy waters. He goes, I only kind of know that, though, because I've been watching them from the couch for half of the season. But it's just crazy. You know what I mean? This guy's leading the team, and that's what he's gained from them. It's just absolutely fucking nuts. But, hey,
it's crazy.
It's a seasoned vet right there for you, baby.
No, for sure. That's like literally the one thing the Browns have been missing all year is the quarterback. Like, they've had injuries. Watson had his struggles. Like, they've had a crazy year, and they still found ways to win games in the ugliest ways possible. But you see Joe Flacco out there fucking balling, which is nuts.
And can we talk about really quick, because Krill's on the ledge, Max, a question I would love to ask. I know Krill was talking about it before you got on, but like the NFC South, right? They're going to get a number 1 seed. They're going to get a home game, and they're going to probably be 500, which is kind of annoying, I'm sure, throughout the league to other teams. Creel is spoiled. He grew up with the Steelers winning probably the most Super Bowls in NFL history, right? He's only seen 2, I think, maybe since he's been alive.
2.
Seen 3, 1, 2.
But he is coming a little bit at Tomlin's head, right? So can you talk him off the ledge and let him know that Tomlin is a top coach, although he may need to...
hold on.
What?
Before you slander my name, I just said this is inexcusable of a Hall of Fame coach to lose back-to-back games at home versus 2-10 teams.
So does he need to change how he's addressing this team with not as many veterans?
There's no leadership. George Pickens and people are just out there standing on run plays. They don't block. Just small shit, but that shit adds up. You're talking about winning your one-on-one battles.
Can I throw this in there? Max, you'll be able to speak to this. But your fan base is booing from the 2 minutes into the game until the fourth quarter. Is that tough for a team to get up for? Max, can I get your opinion if your fan base is going against you? How the fucking you really rally?
You cheer when shit's good. You don't cheer when
got
shit's
7
bad.
wins. And you fired Canada.
Yeah, I mean they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted by, that whole situation. But it's honestly crazy, bro. Like you see a team like the Steelers, who are obviously all year. It's similar to the Browns. Like them and the Browns are very similar to me. Like they both got great rushers. They have great defenses, and they're just offenses have just been struggling. So. I mean, that is tough. I feel like watching the game, I'm like, damn, like the second Trubisky came in, like they were on him. Like they didn't even let him breathe. And I'm like, if y'all are trying to win this game, like this is not helping Trubisky.
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, but I will say this, at the end of the day, the fans have a right to share their honest opinions and thoughts and frustrations and emotions. Like that is what fans are there for. So if it's good or bad. And their hard-earned money. So they have every right to boo when it looks bad. So I do feel that. I've been a part of that. Like, and I know what it looks like. So at the end of the day, I got to, the fans are the fans. The fans are going to share how they feel.
Yep.
I remember my last game in Oakland. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. But unfortunately, we let the game slip away. We were playing Jacksonville. They scored at the end of the game. And they beat us at the last game in the Coliseum. And the fans were fucking launching shit on the field. They were literally ripping the fucking the stands out of the ground and walking out with the seats.
You guys are leaving Oakland. We're taking the stadium with us.
Yeah, no, legitimately, like that's how it was. But at the end of the day, like I was so mad and frustrated at the time, but they had every right to be just as mad and frustrated. So I totally get it.
Yeah, bro. And can you at least hit on Tomlin? Is he a top 5 coach, please, for friends here?
No, for sure.
Does he need to change anything with this team?
I mean, I can't speak for him. I don't know what's going on in their locker room. Obviously, you just hear what, people speculate and, obviously they got some issues going on with the receivers and things like that as far as getting upset. But I don't know what's going on in their locker room. But I know this. Mike Tomlin has had a winning season every single year as a head coach. It's not even a question if he's a great coach. And I know Creel's
that's not good enough for him, though. I gotta know that.
But this is a fact, and you are spoiled, Creel, and it's okay.
I am. And he is a great coach. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. Believe that. But
no, for sure. But again, I do understand where you're coming from.
Numbers don't lie, right?
Numbers don't lie, and I do agree where you're coming from.
How many playoff wins? 8.
All right, we'll transition off. This is for another time. But Creel obviously loves his Steelers. He dies with them. He wins with them. He loses
You
with
want to
them.
say something else?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna cut that off.
We're gonna let it slide. But more importantly, D, before we get a look ahead to Week 15 with the Chargers, Condor Cartel sent a couple questions for the one and only, the kid, Max. Can we get to that? A little rush mail?
Condor Cartel. Big shout out to
Cartel, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Love that.
I always get these curveballs with these names. All right, so it's Ike Racosta _03. Can you talk us through or walk us through on that play when you had to leave the field? So I think what they want to know is what happened.
Oh, in the game. Sorry, you went out a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of.
Oh,
you want to
really?
Yeah. You want to repeat the question real quick?
One more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And say his name one more time.
Yes. Look at Slime, bro. Slime, you got me dead.
His head's crooked like
Like a dog.
It's like, what? That's literally how my dog looks at me when I talk to him. He's like,
All
Are you gonna pet me?
All right.
just ask the question. Just
Welcome back.
All right.
We're keeping
Ike
that.
Racosta _03. Can you walk us through the play when you had to leave the field?
Yeah, so there were 2 different random instances in the game where I got kind of banged up, It was super random, but they ran a run play to my side, and I went underneath. It was like a little free, we call it, and I went underneath. Jerry wrapped over, got me right, and one of their linemen I don't know what exactly happened, but he got like.
It looked like it went knee to knee almost.
No, he like his leg was swinging. He kicked me right in the bottom of my calf as hard as I can, like a UFC, like a Justin Gaethje mean ass leg kick.
Yeah.
It hit me in the back of my calf and my fucking leg turned off, bro. Like I couldn't move, and I'm like, damn. So that was the first one that happened, and then the second one, Nate comes in. Similar type thing. It was a run play. Nate comes flying in, and he grabs the dude around the side, and his whole body goes swinging, and the back of his heel goes flying into the top of my leg. And this is on my right leg. Both of them are on my right leg. But he hit me right in the quad as hard as he could with a whiplash from his heel and cracked me in the leg. So it was another just dead leg. So yeah, there were two random instances, but yeah, it wasn't with the knee or anything like that. It just fucking hurt like hell. And my leg just went numb for, a few seconds after both of those. So yeah, I'm good. And we're looking forward to playing Thursday.
Good. Hey, really quick, before you continue, because you talked about a Gaethje leg kick right there. This weekend, we're huge UFC guys. It's UFC 296. So Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. You got Stephen Thompson fighting Shavkat, which is going to be probably a murder scene. But Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett are going to square off too. Really quick, who's going to win? I want your predictions on Leon versus Colby, and then I want Tony Ferguson, and then I want you to just tell me who's going to win, and I want your opinion on this.
I got you. I love this. We could get some more UFC.
We're going to start doing that. Yes,
getting more UFC as we get closer to Dana's interview in a few weeks. So we could start with the Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson, the most random matchup, the young, up-and-coming, hype guy. The Tony Ferguson, I think he's lost 5 in a row, but an absolute legend in the sport. Got a ton of respect for him. I met Paddy Pimblett, super random, but I was in the airport on a red eye, and he just happened to be sitting there with his coach. It was just me and him on this tram, and we're going over to our little, where we were taking off, and I just looked at him. He had the bowl cut and everything, and I'm like, I gotta say something to this guy. He's a character. So we just chopped it up. He was cool as shit. I got some love for Paddy Pimblett, cool dude. But Tony Ferguson, I gotta say this. I gotta root for Tony in this matchup because Tony's had a rough go of it lately. He's been beaten up pretty badly. But Tony's one of those guys who's just like he's on that David Goggins mind type shit, and he legitimately was training with David Goggins.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
he literally, I saw it, and he's the. I think he said he was the first guy to finish his Hell Week.
Yeah,
which is random, and a lot of people are like, he's stupid for doing this, and blah blah blah. Will it help him? People don't realize, and Joe Rogan touched on this as well. But like,
mental.
It's all mental, and he was doing that before he went to training camp. So it wasn't. That was his training camp, or he was doing a David Goggins full 2-month training camp. It wasn't anything like that. It was more just like a mental thing. And the fact that he finished that is insane. So Big Tony, it's a bunch of random information, but Tony Ferguson, I got a ton of respect for, and I want to see him win. Like, I want to see him win. I want to see him find a way to get the dub. It's going to be an interesting fight, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know it's going to be entertaining.
Are you going?
Co-main, I don't know. That's a great question. We gotta get a win. I gotta get a few sacks. I already told Dana. I told Dana last week because he was talking to me. He's like, "You gotta be at the fight Saturday," and I'm like, "Listen, I gotta get at least 4 or 5 sacks, and I gotta have a couple wins.
Let me know,
and that's the only way I'm going." So he's like, "All right, listen, you gotta take care of business." But so the co-main. Wonder Boy versus what's it? I don't know.
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Rakhmonov. Yeah, I don't know.
Savage.
I don't want to bomb his name, but he's an absolute savage. And no disrespect to Wonder Boy, but I think the Kazakhstani is that what you call him?
I don't know
Kazakhstan, I believe.
I think he might be. Supposedly, he's the one who slept Ian Gary and Leon Edwards' gym. Allegedly.
I believe it. That dude is a killer, bro. That dude's an absolute killer. I've seen him fight in the Apex a couple times. He's just absolutely walked whoever was in there with him. So yeah, I think he's going to give Wonder Boy a lot of trouble. He might finish him early, take him down, and just make it ugly. And then for the main event, I mean, Colby versus Leon. That's honestly this fight I've been looking forward to for a very long time.
Me too.
I remember I was in London for the Leon versus Usman fight the second time. Yeah, the rematch where Leon was the one defending the title, and Leon looked fucking awesome. Usman was hesitant to take him down because
stuffed every takedown he did.
Yeah, he stuffed the takedowns. He fucking picked him apart on the feet. Like Leon, it was Leon's best fight. So getting to see that in person, I'm like, okay, Leon's taking that next step. He finally got over the Usman hump, and he looked incredible. So Leon getting that dub was major, and now he's the champ. But Colby, forever, like we've talked about Colby for a long time, and like Colby,
a young
honestly, legitimately with hands,
yes,
and if Usman didn't exist, this dude would be the reigning champ for years.
Thank you.
And those dudes had the best fights. Every time they matched up, it was insane, fireworks. And the first one was honestly a little controversial. Like Colby, low-key could have won that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to say this. Fast forward a couple months. After I seen Leon fight, I was in Miami for the Miami card. And Hunter Campbell and the whole crew, they're like, all right, we're going to go to dinner. And Colby and his people are coming. We're going to just, talk shop and chop it up. So Colby was there at the dinner. It was my first time meeting him. Obviously, from the outside world, you see how Colby is, and he's this crazy personality, wearing the MAGA hats, and the people, they give him a lot of shit for it. But Colby was one of the coolest, like down to earth dudes I've been around. Like I've been around a lot of athletes, professional athletes with success, and like
is
top
some of that
five.
for show?
He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get how to sell a fight. He knows how to get the people going. But Colby was dope as fuck. We chopped it up for hours, literally. We're at this restaurant. I forget what it was called. It was called like something fish, sex fish, or something wild. But
very interesting.
Yeah, something like that. I forget the name of it. I'm bombing it. It's in Miami. But it was the loudest restaurant on planet Earth. There was music and dancers on tables the whole time. It was like the craziest dinner experience I've ever had. But me and Colby were chopping up the whole time. This dude's mentality, he's bulletproof. He trains all year round. He's always in shape. He eats like literally he's on point all the time. So me and him related in a lot of ways, and we were just chopping it up. And Hunter Campbell made that connection. So big shout out to Hunter Campbell as well. It's my boy. But yeah, it was awesome being around Colby. So I got to chop it up with Colby. I'm like, damn, I actually like this guy. I actually really like this dude. I'm a root for him. And then I got to see him at the Gervonta fight as well. I mean, Colby chopped it up again. And so honestly, I'm in between. I'm a little bit, I like both the fighters, but I have to rock with Colby, bro. I have to rock with Colby. I'm rolling with Colby.
To his core.
I think, I truly think he's gonna win. I feel like stylistically, Colby, he knows this is his time. This is his chance to go get the damn belt, and I think it's gonna be a war.
Might be his last
Colby
chance.
Comes out on top. Yep, I think Colby, the way he's dedicated, the way he trains, he's a dog. I think Colby gets the dub.
Yeah, I think I'm riding the same thing with you. So this weekend, UFC 296, Dana, we are already plugging it for you, even though you don't need any help. You guys are the best in the business, but we'll be tuned in. Las Vegas will be on fire, fighting mecca of the world. But yeah, I'll be going Colby as well. I think Stephen Boyd might get slept. I love that he gives these younger fighters opportunities.
Yeah.
I think that's dope of him. But he's what's his name is minus 600 favorite over Stephen Boyd or over Wonder Boy. So gonna be tough. Yeah. Ferguson, I'm agreeing with you. I hope he can do it. But Paddy Pimblett fighting for twins now. He's got a little bit more to fight for. He needs to be in there. His takedown might be a little too much, but we're locked in. Darian, I apologize for hijacking the Rush mail.
Yeah, back to you, Darian.
Dear Rushman yourself, ask away. Ask away.
That's right, dude.
All right. Second question here from Brianna.cm. What were your thoughts when you're reaching 50 sacks?
What were my thoughts? When it happened, honestly, it wasn't in my mind. My mind is in a whole different place. I was ultra amped and fucking hyped. But we had like a little timeout, and we're standing there, and I looked up at the Jumbotron, and they were saying they had the big 50, and they put up a stat like the first Raider to ever have 50 sacks in his first 5 seasons. And I was standing there next to Nate Hobbs, And Hobbs is my boy. Like, that's my brother. And he's sitting there and he looks up and he's like, boy, you're cold. And I look behind me. He's like, boy, you're cold, bro. And I was like, I appreciate you, bro. And we just dapped it up and it was a cool moment. But honestly, it's special, bro. It's obviously a big deal, but a lot of, we got a lot of work to do. So it's definitely a good start for sure.
It's got to mean more coming from your teammates, right, than it does just coming from like the media or somebody recognize you. You know you're a legit dog. It always feels better when your teammates are like, you're different, or you're him, or you're killing shit, right? It always means more from the dudes you put in the work with.
No, for sure, bro. That's what it's all about. Your peers, your teammates, players around the league, coaches around the league, your own coaches. Like, at the end of the day, like, people have their opinions, their media opinions, and things like that, which we respect, to a certain degree. But like, when it's your brothers and the guys that are going to war out there with you, that's the ultimate respect. So big shout out to Nate Hobbs as well. That's my dog for sure.
So Nate, we're gonna have to get him on the rush.
Nate, dog. No, we got to get Nate on the rush. That's definitely, he's gonna be dialed up. He's asked about it too. No, I'm definitely coordinating.
Can we get a breaker really quick? You had a message with the one and only Scott Hansen, NFL Red Zone voice of the century.
Oh yeah.
Can we let the people know?
Yes. Okay. So this is random. We don't want to hijack you again, DT, but we're going to throw this out there because we feel like it's very important. But we talked about it on an earlier episode of The Rush that we need to get this man, Scott Hansen. We're talking about how he doesn't piss for 7 hours straight. We're talking about how he's bulletproof in the mind. We got a ton of respect for him. And we even talked about it like, we need this guy on the pod. So randomly, I'm sitting there. It's bye week, or it wasn't even bye week. It was actually this week. It's a couple days ago. Yep. And I'm just scrolling, whatever. Pops up on my Instagram. Scott Hansen is now following you. I'm like, what the fuck? So I DM'd him immediately. Yeah, for sure. And I seen it just happen. So I'm like, I'm shooting him a DM right now. So obviously I sent y'all what I said to him and just told him, we got to get you on the podcast. You're a legend, whatever. And he hit me right back. He's like, absolutely, man. We'd love to get on. Here's the email, and this is another email if they don't get back to you right away. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's all in. He's all in. So we're definitely going to get Scott Hansen. Also, I had a little interview on NFL Network. We have Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport are also going to be getting on, and Adam Schefter as well. So when he talks about insider info and, like, information going on around the league, we need those guys, the heavy hitters, the Adrian Wojnarowskis of the NFL, to be on our podcast. So we're definitely looking forward to have them as guests this offseason for sure.
So now you just heard those names that Max just dropped in. So if you guys want throughout the time, if there's questions you want to hear from each one of those guests, drop them in the comments below. We'll add your questions if they do fit, right? If they are suited to and are acceptable enough. Darian, you know how it is, thumbing through those questions. So, but drop them below if you guys are interested in hearing something from one of your favorite people, or if you just want some knowledge around the league. We will fucking hammer it down for you, boys and girls, no doubt about it. So you deserve the world here, Darian. Send it back to you, brother. I'm sorry.
No, we're great. We got one last one. All right, from Eric.G_, maybe 2 underscores, Eric.G__. All right. Say, do you have one universal goal for your career or multiple that change season to season?
That's a good question. For me, every single year is a different journey. I go into the off season, right after the season ends, I reflect on everything. I watch all the games over again. I figure out, all right, this is what I need to improve on. This is what I did well. How can I take that next step? I got my board. I write a lot of things, whatever's on my mind on the board, how I'm feeling, what I, felt like I did good and bad. I recoup with my team, from my nutritionist to strength staff to coaches to all them. I break down everything. So for me, overall, like, I have major goals. I talk about legacy all the time. Like, there's definitely big things, that I'm looking forward to achieving, and I plan on chasing until I get there. I talked about it before openly, but like Hall of Fame, I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to be multiple time first team All Pros. I want to be the Raiders all-time sack leader. I want to be one of the greatest Raiders to ever do it, and one of the best, period, in general, to ever play my position. So, those are major goals. But for me, those are like the telescope. That's what I see in the horizon. But for me, I focus on the microscope, the day-to-day, the 1% I can improve on every single day. And that's what, helps me get to where I'm at and how I continuously, keep growing in the right direction.
Great question.
Great
I
answer.
love it.
What I got a quick follow-up question for you then. What would you say? You said you break down, Zen Water. You say you break down the previous year. You go through all the games and you identify what you really need to improve on for the upcoming season. What was it that you did last season that was like, hey, this is one thing that I really need to focus on and improve?
Yeah, this is something that I sat with the strength coaches about. Those guys from Rick Slate, who's like basically my personal trainer. I've taken him on trips with me with Dana. Like I work with him every single workout. We're in there together. We do all the grip workouts, all the extra shit together, the hydro works, pool workouts. Rick Slade is like, that's my guy. AJ Nibel, he's the head strength coach. He's the head coach. He's the one operating the whole machine. But these guys, I work with them all year. Deuce Gruden, DA, Jake, the whole crew. And something AJ brought to the table, he's like, listen, going into this year, we have like a theme. What are we going to do to take that next step? And for me, it was power. And that was something we focused on all off season and all, started January 30th. And we've been, we worked on it all year and all off season and all camp. It hasn't stopped in all season. So that's something I really wanted to take that next step with is the power aspect of my game. And I feel like, today was a prime example of that, put my power on display because I know I have the slipperiness, I have the wiggle, I have multiple different moves I can win with, but adding that fucking thump stick behind it, it opens up, okay, Damien, it opens up everything in my game. So for me, that was something we really wanted to incorporate, that thumper. But yeah, the power was a main emphasis this offseason.
So you had to work on that thump stick.
That thump stick.
Gee.
Show me that.
Shout out that thumper.
Facts, though. Great questions from the fucking Condor Cartel. We do appreciate them. And
excellent work, boys.
Yeah, continue to cook
And
them
girls.
out for us. We enjoy it. It's a fun time for us on this for every episode. And we've enjoyed the ones that are very inappropriate. I laugh about them. Darian laughs about them even harder, as you can tell. Max, let's get out of the fan mail. We appreciate it. But Week 15, Chargers at home, short-ass week. We're already flushing this past game. Just a look ahead to the Chargers, second time playing them. What is the main focus this week leading into that game?
Yeah, the Chargers, every time we line up against them, we know it's going to be a battle. We've been playing them twice a year. So I think this is going to be my 10th game against the Chargers. I play them twice a year, every single year. Got a ton of respect for them. They got, ton of great players from Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen, all these guys. They got ballers. Khalil Mack on the other side, Derwin James, guys I got a ton of respect for. So every time you step out there, it's going to be a war, and it's my favorite. Every time you go and play a interdivision game, what that comes with. So we already know it's going to be a battle. We're looking forward to it. I love playing the Chargers. So expect me to be at my absolute best. I cannot wait. And we got to find a way to win, no matter what it looks like. If we got to win 3-0, we got to do it. If we got to win 30-27, we got to find a way to do it. So for us, our main focus is on getting our bodies back together, getting our minds right, and get back out on the field and go get a win at home.
Hell yeah, bro. We're fucking ready for it. Can't
Amen.
wait for it to get here. I know you can as well. Let the body heal up a little bit. Most importantly, you come out of the game healthy. Do we
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
that? Love that.
Pretty much.
Love
Pretty
that.
much.
All right, well, perfect, man. Let's get to our favorite segment.
Uh-oh. All right, y'all. You already know my biased opinion. The greatest segment in podcast history, the Rushman of the Week. We have 3 of them every single week. We give our love to everybody around the league, getting after the quarterback, domination, hunting, sacks, TFLs, everything that involves getting towards the quarterback. This is what we do. So this week we got 3 guys. And for actually, no, this isn't for the first time. I thought there was 2 D tackles. I'm wrong. We're doing 1 D tackle. We're doing 2 D ends. So sorry about that. But anyways, number 3, Big Mo Hurst, my former teammate, Michigan Wolverine. Even though we got our beefs when it comes to that, because I root for the Buckeyes. But Mo Hurst, my former teammate, seeing what he's done and come back from injury. He's been out damn near 2 years. And he's got back on his feet. He's in Cleveland now on one of the best defenses, and he's causing havoc. I see him balling every single week, and I got a ton of respect for this dude, man, and I'm proud of him. He's in year 6 now, I believe, and he's just getting better over time. So Mo Hurst today, 4 tackles, 2 TFLs, a sack. He was balling. And anytime I see my former teammates or guys that I currently play with, I always, biasly, I want to show love to them. So Mo Hurst, this is your first time being on the Rushman of the Week list. So big shout out to you, Mo. You're my fucking boy. I love you.
Mo.
And you're number 3 on the Rushman of the Week.
Oh,
So
Mo. Congrats.
big shout out to Mo Hurst.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I know DT's fired up about that.
Oh,
He loves
I already
it.
know. I already know. Number 2. And we, I definitely hinted it a little bit. I'm a little biased towards my guys. But he made the list for a reason. He's number 2. This is like my brother. Me and him, we came in the league together, got drafted together. We've been through a lot together.
Same
It's my
team.
dog. The same team. We were together for, multiple years, 4 years to be exact. My brother, Cleveland Farrell,
Let's go,
49ers. Obviously, selfishly, I would want Clee still on the Raiders, but I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. He's balling. He's balling for the Niners. He's found his role on that defense, and you see him every single week getting better and better. He's playing a ton of snaps now. He's in the rotation. He's making plays. And this week, had this damn near the same stat list as our boy Mo, but 4 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a sack. And my boy Clee, he's one of those guys. He's very analytical. When he came to the league, he was very, diligent on the details of being a rusher. He's not the craziest athlete. It's similar to me. Like, I'm not the freakiest athlete out there, but like I said earlier, rushmen come in all different shapes and sizes, and Clee is one of those guys. He's found his role. He can rush inside, he can rush outside, but he's a disruptor. He's good against the run and pass. And today, balling out again, helping the 49ers get another win. So number 2 on the Rushman of the Week, it's got to be our boy Cleveland Farrell. So big shout out to you. I love
Let's
it,
go,
brother.
Clee. That a
Big
boy.
shout out to Cletus.
Not only is he nice on the field, but that dude can break it down on the dance floor. We saw it at the wedding a little bit.
Yeah. Clee got after it. He got after it, man. And honestly, and I got to put this out there because this is the best gift I've ever received from a friend in my life. But he definitely came through with the Tony Soprano, the gold Prezi,
I remember.
as a gift at my wedding. So honestly, the greatest gift by far I think I've ever gotten in my life. So big shout out to Clee. I tried to do him a solid. He was getting out of town soon after that, and I took him to a boxing match. We got to see. Actually, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who was it? Oh, it was
Tank?
the Caleb Plant fight versus Benavidez. So I got to get us, ringside. That's the least I can do. I definitely got to get him a few more gifts to make up for the Prezi. But big shout out to Clee. You're number 2. So we love you, bro. And we can give him another clap around.
Let's go, Clee.
Because that's my dog.
Way to be
that's
great.
impressive.
Big shout out to Cletus. Way to be special.
Way to want it, Clee.
Way to want it. And here we go. Number 1. We've been showing a lot of love to these guys. Obviously they had a rough day today. They took a loss. Not many people were expecting it, but we're going to give our flowers when they're due. And for us, last week, our number 1 Rushman of the Week was Will Anderson. Alabama rookie, balled out. This week, a second-time Rushman. He wasn't number 1 the first time, but he's a 2-timer when it comes to the Rushman of the Week, and he's number 1 this time. Jonathan Grenard, 6 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 sacks, pass deflection. The dude was balling out today. Like I said, they had a rough game. They lost, but the man deserves it. He balled out today. He jumped off the tape. Obviously, I was, playing, so I didn't get to see his full game, but I definitely got to catch some clips. Y'all definitely, shared how he held it down. So Jonathan Grenard, balling, very underrated. The dude is getting better every single year. So I got a ton of respect for this dude, another AFC guy. So big shout out to you, brother. And big shout out to the Houston Texans as well for sharing last week.
Yep.
My clip, talking about the Rushman of the Week, and they tagged the Rush podcast. They showed us some love. So obviously we got some love for H-Town and the Houston Texans. We appreciate you guys. But Jonathan Grenard, you're number 1 Rushman of the Week. Congratulations.
Congrats, John.
Big
We'll
job.
have another tweet cooking out. The Texans are busy with the Rush content, so
Yes.
You're welcome,
We expect
and
y'all,
thank you.
to hold it down again, back-to-back weeks. Pushing the pod. So we appreciate y'all.
yes, 100%.
Pushing P.
And that's it. That should top the charts there for our 3 Rushmen throughout the league. we'll be hitting on it again next week as well for you guys. So the one and only, the best rusher in the league, in our honest opinion, is going to grade it out for his fellow rushmen. And if you make that list, that's elite company. And we will get those Dog of the Day shirts sent over to each one of you guys if you top that chart. We hope you guys rep it with pride. Also, fan base, it's going to be coming to you as well. And not only the players are going to touch that merch, but you as well. We'll get that solved and figured out ASAP for you guys. So just buckle down to your chairs, baby. The ride's just about to take off. So
Amen.
We should be closing out, huh, boys? We good?
I think
Yeah.
it's closing time. It's closing time. We had a nice closing time. I mean, this might be our longest episode. This might be our longest episode. I mean, an hour 23. We've been in the lab.
Mom just said, "How's the energy?"
In the lab.
We're
The
here.
energy is immaculate.
We're
There's
here.
no question about it. So I'll close it out. For the gang. Obviously, this is the Rush Podcast, episode 11. Tough night tonight. Obviously, 3-0, weird loss. But it's tough. You know, we had to find a way, and we fell a little bit short. But for the Raider fans, I just want to say I love y'all. For all the fans following our podcast, we love you guys. Keep liking, subscribing, commenting below. Brogan, my co-host, fucking legend, EMU legend, all-time passing leader.
I appreciate
Dustin
it.
Creel, one of the best receivers in Eastern history. Darian Terrell, one of the best guards in Eastern history. We got some legends in here. Slimeball, we got you in the back holding the fort down. We appreciate
Legendary
you,
on the
brother.
lens.
The whole crew, Nick, his crew, CJ, running point guard. We got everybody, JP. We got a lot of people involved doing a lot of big things, so we want to give you guys your flowers as well. But most importantly, to the fans, we love y'all. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. We're going to get some big things rolling. So look forward to more content. There's going to be more guests, more up-to-date, more, I don't even know. There's going to be everything. Everything we got. Merch drop. We're going to have everything coming y'all way. We appreciate it. You guys are the best. We love y'all. This is the Rush Podcast with Maxx Crosby and my brothers. We out of here.
Peace. Raiders.
Hey.